Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Walt's Real Estate Channel. Again, if you like this content, please hit the like button and, of course, subscribe so that you can see it every day that I post, which is on most days. Today, I have a quick story. I love this story. It came from a client of mine, an awesome gentleman who's an East Bay resident, over 90 years old, still spry, lost his wife a little while ago and still talks about her in such great terms. Just a great love story, and still sad about that, but still moving forward, has a great family, and this great story. This guy's a self-made man. I'm telling you right now, he started with very little. Parents came over from Portugal sometime in the 40s, and mom worked in a laundry facility. Dad was a blue collar guy. This particular guy joined the military, was in the during the Korean War, did not go overseas, stationed here, was a carpenter. Again, self-made man, built his own house, not had it built, built his own house. So he is now selling a family property that was bought in 1948 for $10,500. He tells the story about how back then his dad, was working as hard as he could. Mom's working, doing the best they can, and they say, "Hey, I want to buy a house, but I don't know how to do it." It's 1948. There's no internet, obviously. There's probably not even a lot of advertisements about getting mortgages. It's a long time ago. He ends up hearing from a friend, "Hey, there's this house in the East Bay. It's a two-family. You should go see the woman." By the way, the woman also an immigrant from Portugal. This guy's dad, also an immigrant from Portugal. They have this conversation in Portuguese. She wants $11,500. He wants to give her $10,500. Think about it. He's asking for a 10% reduction in the price, which today might not fly in this current market, but it did then. The woman agrees to $10,500, but he doesn't have the money. He doesn't have $10,500. So he goes to Old Stone Bank, he says, and they say, "You know what, based on your salary, your income, I assume debt to income ratio was a thing back then. There were no credit cards, keep that in mind. Everything pretty much cash." And he says, the bank says, "We'll give you $60,000. So the bank's asking for 45% down on this purchase for these first-time home buyers. He goes home a little bit upset. He's not sure whether or not he can raise that sort of money. But his friend says, "Hey, you know what? I'll loan you $2,500. He's like, "Great, okay, I got to find another $2,000. A cousin tells him, "Hey, you know what? I'll loan you $1,000. He's like, "Okay, but I'm still 1,000 away." And you could say $1,000, no big deal. But in 1948, that's about $15,000, that $1,000. So now you can understand, a little bit harder to raise that money. Well, his church hears about it, and his priest comes up to him one day and says, "You know what? I'm going to give you the last $1,000 so you can buy a house." Give you, okay? He gets it. They buy the house. And here's one of my favorite parts of the story. They buy the house. They move in. The mom and dad are like, "We're not taking that money for nothing from the church, and we're going to pay everybody back." And they work super hard over the next few months to pay everybody back. And they cut expenses, according to my client, now selling this house for $500,000. They cut back to the point of, he says they had soup every single night for about 3 months. Soup. So you've heard of sweat equity? Punchline. This is soup equity. They got soup equity in that house that now their descendant is going to sell for about $500,000. Great story. And by the way, just another quick note, some numbers here. $10,000 to $500,000. Amazing return. It is over a course of 80 years. But if you annualize the return on that, as in the appreciation per year, it's about just over 5%. And most would agree that a regular market in real estate, no matter where you are, the average return is about 5%. And this is an 80-year span in Rhode Island where that return is about 5%, about what we expect. And that's a healthy market, by the way. You don't really, look, if you're an owner, you want 10%, 20% returns. That's fantastic, but it's unsustainable, right? So we've seen that sort of market. This property, though, over that entire period probably went like this. Starts at 10,005, goes up, maybe down, up. Trying to think of the decades. I don't know, maybe the 70s, up, down, up, down, up, down. 2020 probably goes way up, and there it is. But that climb from there to there, still about 5% a year. And one more note, I love this note especially. The rate of inflation in the United States of America since 1948, about 3.4%. So real estate beat inflation during that time. I love that story for so many reasons, and I hope we can sell this house. I'm sure we can. It's a 2-family, 3 bedrooms on each floor. Getting ready to market it next week, and get Joe. By the way, his name's Joe. Joe's reason for selling, he wants to help his daughters out. This guy, salt of the earth. I love this guy. Learned so much from him, working with him over the last year or so. So that's what I have for this week. Please, if you like this story or any other story that I tell here on my YouTube channel, please comment below, hit the like button, share it, and again, subscribe to Walt Utel Real Estate. And if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to be your real estate advisor for life, your real estate expert. Please put your comments in the comments below here or on Facebook.